Before we begin, I want to say this gently, not as a demand, not as a pitch, but if this podcast has supported you, if you keep finding yourself coming back, if something in your body settles when you listen, make sure you're following, subscribing, or saved wherever you're listening, not because of algorithms, but because this work builds over time. This season is designed to be listened to in a sequence. It's meant to layer, to repeat, to rewire. And staying connected matters for that. Now, let's arrive properly. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth. Welcome to the Sacred Shit Show. This is season 4, and this season is called Sacred Living. Sacred living has been aestheticized, but you didn't even know that was a word, did you? Aestheticized to death. Yes, I said what I said. Sacred living has been aestheticized to death. It's been flattened into morning routines that you cannot keep up with, into rituals that look beautiful, but they do not survive the high pain days, into practices that assume that you have unlimited energy, time, capacity, and nervous system safety. That version of sacred living collapses the moment real life shows up. This season is not that. This season is about what actually holds. What holds when you wake up exhausted, when your body hurts, when your brain won't cooperate, and when you don't feel spiritual, motivated, or high vibe. Sacred living, as we're exploring it in this season, it's not about elevation. It's about stabilization. And the place we have to start is with our routines. Not because routines are exciting, but because routines are regulating. Let's myth bust straight away. Routines are not about discipline. They're not about productivity. They're not about control. That language has done so much damage, because if you've ever struggled with routines, the story you were given was that you're inconsistent, you lack willpower, you just need to try harder. But here's the truth. A nervous system that has experienced unpredictability, pain, trauma, burnout, neurodivergence, or chronic stress does not respond to force. It responds to safety. And safety is created through predictability. Not rigid predictability or militarized structure, but gentle, reliable cues that say, this happens next. You're not about to be overwhelmed. You don't have to figure everything out. Most routines fail because they're built for the mind, not the body. They look good on paper. They sound impressive when they're spoken out loud, but they require a version of you that only exists on your best days. And when you inevitably can't keep them, the nervous system learns something corrosive. I can't trust myself. And that belief is far more dysregulating than having no routine at all. I want to speak from inside this, not above it. Because there have been long periods of my life where routines felt impossible. My pain was so high that getting out of bed already took everything I had. The neurodivergent days where structure felt like suffocation, and the burnout phases where even the idea of consistency made my chest tighten. And I internalized the same story many of you have. That I was bad at routines, I was undisciplined, and I just hadn't found the right system yet. But what I actually was bad at was forcing my nervous system to comply. The moment things began to change wasn't when I found a better planner. It was when I stopped asking, how do I create the perfect routine? And started asking, what does my body need to feel safe right now? And that question changes everything. Because sacred routines are not about who you want to be. They're about who you actually are on your hardest days. We also need to talk honestly about frequency. Because high frequency has been sold to you as a state that you achieve. As if you wake up one day calm, abundant, aligned, and somehow you stay there. That's not how the nervous system works. High frequency is not a mood, it's not positivity, and it is not constant regulation. High frequency is resilience of return. It's how quickly you can come back to yourself after disruption. And that capacity is built through repetition. A regulated nervous system doesn't mean you never get overwhelmed. It means you know how to orient back. Routines are how the body learns. This is familiar. This is safe. I know what happens next. And that familiarity creates trust. And trust is what stabilizes frequency. Not force. Not striving, trust. Let's slow this down and bring it into the body. If it feels okay, place one hand somewhere neutral, your thigh, your belly, your chest. No need to change anything. Notice the contact, not to analyze it, just to notice it. Now gently ask yourself, without pressure, when do I feel most unanchored in the day? Is it the moment you wake up? Transitions between tasks? After being around other people? Before you go to sleep? There is no correct answer, but your nervous system already knows. Sacred routines don't need to span your whole day. They need to meet you where you lose yourself. Now ask one more question. What would help me arrive without effort? Not what should I do, not what looks good, what your body would actually accept. It might be one slow breath, standing still for 20 seconds, drinking water without multitasking, naming the room you're in, touching something grounding. That's enough. And that's how sacred routines are born. Let's take a pause and gather what we've covered already. Sacred routines are not about discipline. They are about safety. High frequency is not about elevation. It's about stability and return. And routines only work when they're built with the nervous system, not against it. We'll be moving into part 2 in just a moment, and we will be going even deeper and taking a look at why inconsistency creates shame loops, how repetition rebuilds self-trust, how to design routines that survive real life, and how sacred living becomes embodied, not conceptual. So before we close this part, take one more breath with me. You're not behind. You're not broken. And you don't need to try harder. You need something your body can keep. And before we move on, let's hear from our in-house fairy, Herbal Moonbeam.
Dear listener, it's me, Herbal Moonbeam, guardian of the green, listener to the wisdom that lives in bodies, and your gentle guide here at the Strange Apothecary. While our host steps away to tend her tea, let me settle beside you for a moment. Have you felt it lately? That deep, steady fatigue that rest alone doesn't touch. The sense that your body has slowed the pace, not because you failed, but because it needed safety more than speed. When the body hits the brakes, it isn't rebellion, it's intelligence. And that low hum inside you, the one whispering there must be another way to live, isn't dissatisfaction, it's memory. This is where the Sacred Portal opens. The Sacred Portal is a 6-month group-held multidimensional healing journey for those who are done trying to heal in isolation and done being told they should already be over it. Together, over 6 months, we move slowly and deliberately through the 5 layers that shape your lived experience: body, mind, energy, soul, and spirit. Not to ascend out of life, but to finally feel safe inside it. Inside the portal, there is no fixing, no pressure to perform healing the right way, no bypassing the body in favour of insight. Instead, we work with somatic rituals that teach your nervous system it no longer has to stay on guard, subconscious patterning that softens survival without ripping it away, energy work that clears what never belonged to you, and soul remembrance that doesn't hype you up, it settles you back into. This container is held as one group, one path, one shared rhythm, because healing doesn't happen through hierarchy, it happens through safety, witnessing, and regulation in relationship. The Sacred Portal isn't for those chasing a better version of themselves, it's for those ready to stop leaving themselves behind. The portal is now open for enrolment. One path, one group, 6 months of being held in a way most systems never taught you was possible. And because we honour the land that carries us, every enrolment plants a tree, rooting your healing into something living. And so if your body feels quieter as you listen, if something in you has softened instead of tensed, that's not coincidence. You already recognise this pace. Visit thesacredportal.co.uk or follow the link waiting for you in the show notes. The Sacred Portal. You were never broken, your system was protecting you. Now then, sweet soul, my wings are beginning to shimmer, which means it's time to drift gently back into your journey.
Before we move forwards, let's gently reorient. If you're listening in one sitting, just let your shoulders soften. If you're returning to this later, welcome back. Take one slow breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through the mouth. Not to achieve, not to catch up, we're just continuing. We need to talk about inconsistency. Honestly, not morally, because inconsistency is not a character flaw. It's a nervous system response. When routines are too big, too rigid, or too idolized, the body senses threat. Not logical threat, capacity threat. And when the nervous system feels overwhelmed, it does what it's designed to do. It pulls away. That's when avoidance kicks in, when procrastination appears, and when you forget, delay, or abandon the routine entirely. And then something subtle but powerful happens. The mind steps in and says, see, you never stick to anything. You can't be trusted. Why even try? And that's the shame loop. Over time, the nervous system associates routines themselves with failure, not because routines are bad, but because they were never designed to be safe. This is why so many people feel activated just thinking about consistency. Sacred routines break that loop, not by demanding more, but by asking less. So let's bust another myth. Change does not come from intensity, it comes from repetition. Intensity excites the nervous system. Repetition reassures it. A routine done gently, imperfectly, but repeatedly will always outregulate a powerful routine you can't keep. This is where frequency actually stabilizes, not through big moments, but through familiar ones. Each time you repeat a small, safe action, the nervous system learns, I survived this. I can do it again, and I know what happens next. That's learning and building trust. And trust is what creates internal safety. High frequency is not about being elevated, it's about being anchored. Now, there's something that I want to say plainly. There were periods of my life where the only routine I could keep was breathing consciously for a few seconds, and even that felt like effort some days. Pain doesn't care about your intentions. Neurodivergent doesn't respond to rigid systems. Burnout doesn't resolve through motivation. What saved me wasn't doing more. It was stopping before collapse. Letting a routine be sitting still, touching the floor, drinking water slowly, orienting to the room, no incense, no ceremony, no performance, and slowly, over time, my nervous system stopped bracing for the day. That's when things changed, not dramatically, but sustainably. Now let's talk practically. A sacred routine that works in real life has 3 qualities. 1, it's short. Under 2 minutes is ideal. 2, it's flexible. It works sitting, standing, or lying down. And 3, it's repeatable on your worst days. If your routine only works when you feel good, it's not a routine, it's a reward. So ask yourself, what is the smallest action that signals safety to my body? Because that's your routine. And you don't need 10 of them. 1 is enough. The repetition is what creates the depth. So let's anchor this. Place your feet on the floor if you can, or notice wherever your body is supported. Name silently or out loud 3 things you can see. 2 things you can feel physically. And 1 thing you can hear. This is regulation. This is sacred. Not because it's impressive, but because it brings you back. This could be your routine. Simple, reliable, and enough. Sacred living is not about adding more meaning to life. It's about reducing threat. It's about creating days where your nervous system doesn't have to survive, and routines are how that begins. Not all at once, not perfectly, but consistently. If this way of working speaks to you, I want you to know this. You don't have to do it alone. Inside the Sacred Shit Show membership, this work becomes lived. Daily regulation prompts, nervous system support, community that understands real life, and practices that build over time instead of burning you out. It's where sacred living stops being a concept and starts becoming a rhythm. You'll find the link wherever you're listening. There's no rush, just an invitation. Tomorrow, a spoken word imprint will be released. This imprint is not something to do, it's something to receive. Listen to it once, or let it play quietly throughout the week, and let the repetition do the work. This episode was the understanding. The imprint is the settling. Stay gentle with yourself, and I will see you tomorrow.